In the spring of 1919, the Rowlatt Act was passed by the British colonial government in India, igniting a firestorm of public outrage and a pivotal moment in India's struggle for independence. Officially known as the Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act of 1919, it aimed to curb the growing nationalist sentiments and revolutionary activities by extending the repressive provisions of the Defense of India Act beyond the First World War. Under the Rowlatt Act, the British authorities were empowered to maintain wartime restrictions, such as imprisonment without trial and judicial proceedings conducted in secret. The act effectively silenced any opposition or dissenters using the justification of maintaining peace and order, but instead, it led to widespread unrest and anger across the subcontinent. The act was particularly controversial as it clashed with the rising hopes in India for self-rule following the war's end. Indians had wholeheartedly supported the British war effort with both resources and manpower, believing it would lead to greater political autonomy. Instead, they found themselves under stricter controls. One of the leading figures against this oppressive legislation was Mahatma Gandhi, whose call for nonviolent protest resonated deeply with the Indian populace. He initiated the Rowlatt Satyagraha, a non-cooperation movement that encouraged Indians to peacefully resist the unjust laws through hartals, strikes, and by boycotting British goods and institutions. The movement quickly gained momentum across the country, drawing participation from all sectors of Indian society. However, it also resulted in bloody reprisals from the British, most notoriously with the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. British troops shot and killed hundreds of unarmed civilians participating in a protest meeting. The impact of the Rowlatt Act and the events it triggered marked a decisive turning point in India's fight against colonial rule. It highlighted the growing momentum of the independence movement, brought international attention to the British administration's brutal methods, and further ignited the spirit of nationalism among Indians. By suppressing voices calling for freedom, the Rowlatt Act unknowingly fueled the very rebellion it sought to quell. Its legacy continues to be remembered as a symbol of colonial oppression and the indomitable spirit of the Indian independence movement.